Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the completed colouring pages for August. So I hope you enjoy this video and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you do. So the first book that I did a picture in was Rita Berman's book, Mine Reese Dutch Europair. So this is the page that I did. I did a colour along for this as well. So it's up on my channel now if you guys want to check this out. So I used the Castle Art pencils to do this and a little bit of Posca pen just to sort of go over the sea in certain areas and make that stand out a little bit more. But I chose quite a dark colour palette for this one because I wanted it to be like a nighttime sky and then like the blues and the purples just so that it all sort of matched together nicely. But I'm quite happy with how this page came out. I quite like the little Fisher pink to match the houses and things like that. So it's not too many different colours, but I think it's just enough to break up the different sections of the picture. So that was my first picture. Next we've got Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings by Hannah Lynn. So in this one I chose to do the Alice in Wonderland picture. And again, I used Castle Art pencils for this one, so I must have been enjoying the Castle Art pencils this month, you guys. So this is how this one came out. So I did her little dress, like the traditional sort of like blue with the white apron. And then I looked on Google to try and find this little path. And the only one that I could find was where the cards were. And it was a red and yellow path. So I decided to do that to match. And then I did the little rabbit like a little grey colour and gave him a little blue coat so that he matched Alice as well. And then I just kind of picked random different colours to do all the other objects in the background. But this picture was quite a lot of fun to do. There's a lot of different random objects on there. And that's the first picture that I've done from this book. So a lot more to go yet. Next, I've got one in this unicorn colouring book. I think this one's by Edwina McNamee, I think. But it doesn't tell you anywhere on the book, like, what her name is. So I couldn't tell you 100%. But I got this one for my birthday. So I decided to do the first picture. So we've got this little one here with the little unicorns and the cute little bumblebee creatures. So for this one, I used my touch markers, alcohol markers, to do a base coat. So I did that on all of like the background and the flowers. The only thing I didn't do a base coat on was this house here and the unicorns themselves, but everything else had a base coat with that. And then the pencils that I went over to add some details in was the Macaroon Brute Ferner pencils, just to add in some little details to the flowers, make them stand out a little bit more. And then for these little unicorns, I went around them with a white Posca and then went over the white Posca with green and blue sparkly glitter pens so that they look a little bit shiny. Don't know if it's picking it up on camera, but I did the same for these little wings as well. Went round them with the blue glitter paint so that they had a little bit of sparkle to the page. And I've just noticed I actually forgot to go around the wings on this unicorn, so I'll have to do that after. But that's this one. Next we've got another one by the same lady, Edwina McNamee, I think her name is. This is Dreamlings 2. And I did this page. So it's like a little honeybee page. For this one, I used the Black Widow pencils and some Posca pen to go over the wings. It's not Posca pen, it's like a glitter pen, sorry. And I also used the same glitter pen to go around this sort of edge in here and these little like bubbles in the background. So hopefully you guys will see it's got a little bit of sparkle to it. But yeah, I quite like how this one came out. I kept the colour palette quite simple. I just did like a honey colour for the actual house and for the honey dripping down. And then just some reds and greens for the backgrounds. And I did use some, not Posca, I did use some soft pastels, just a light green in the background, just to give it a bit of a green tinge. And I think that's everything that I used on there. Oh, and I used a black glitter gel pen just to go in the black sections of the bumblebees so that they had a little bit of sparkle as well. So hopefully you guys can see that. But that was this little page. Next I've got one from Tales from the Midnight Masquerades by Hannah Carlson. This one I did as a buddy colour with June colours. And we did this page. So this one I used the Arteza pencils for, and I used some soft pastels in the background, and then for these little dots I used a gold glitter marker to fill them in so that they're a little bit sparkly, and some gold gel pen on the details on these little lanterns just to give it a little bit of extra shine, because I did all of the gold work with like pencils, but I wanted these little bits to stand out a little bit better, so I went over them with a gold gel pen just to give it a little bit more sparkle. So I'll bring it up so that you guys can see. I added in some white lines over the glass so it looked like it was shining a little bit. So yeah, that was a colour along that I did with June colours, and I'll insert a picture of her finished page as well just after this so that you guys can take a look at hers. And last but not least, we've got Johanna Basford's colouring calendar for this year. So this is the August page. So I used some watercolour paints to do this background here. And then I used some gel pens to go ahead and fill in the octopus and these little fish as well. I wanted to use some gel pens because I'd accidentally gone over some of the picture with the watercolour paint. So I thought the gel pens might cover it. But it didn't work very well, and it was a bit of a disaster. And I wanted to just leave the picture and not finish it, but I did come back and finish it. So, you know, sometimes they don't go as planned, but I think we should still try and finish them if we can. So yeah, this was this one. I used quite a lot of gel pens in here as well to make this like a little bit sparklier so that all the little gems and coins are a little bit shiny. And then I used some Faber-Castell Black Editions to go ahead and colour in the actual chest itself. And down here I did some soft pastels to give it like a base colour for the sand. And then I went in with a brown Posca pen and just added a little bit of details in here and there just to give it a little bit of shade. And then the only other thing I used on here was some white Posca to go around the little gems within here and this one, just so that they looked a little bit more reflective. So yeah, that's how this picture came out. And that is everything that I've coloured this month, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.